Day one of our August heat wave has pushed temperatures close to 100 degrees across the metro area. Here's a live look outside right now where we're seeing temperatures in the upper 90s. Thanks so much for joining us here at 5. I'm John Adams. Let's check in with meteorologist Joe Ranieri. Joe, what are the temperatures out there right now?
Uncomfortably hot is probably the best way to describe it. We're seeing a temperature in downtown Portland of 98 degrees. Now the hottest day so far of the year and of course of the summer by just a degree or so. But I'm not going to be surprised if we're looking at temperatures here in the next 20-30 minutes hitting triple digit heat at PDX. And I think we'll be doing it again tomorrow. We still have that weather impact alert up for the rest of today, tomorrow, and into Tuesday. The heat advisory is over in Southwest Washington. But you're going to be seeing temperatures climbing in the mid to the upper 90s heading into tomorrow. Meanwhile, we're looking at an extreme heat warning throughout much of the metro area, up and down the I-5 corridor, and throughout the east side of the state near the Columbia River Gorge and into the high desert over in Bend and Redmond until tomorrow, or rather until Tuesday night. So it kind of gives you an idea of just how hot these temperatures are going to be over the next couple of days. And the other thing that we're not going to be seeing much of is a cool down in the overnight lows as well. Right now, though, we're looking at temperatures across the metro area right around 100 degrees to 101 over in Sherwood, up and down the I-5 corridor, right around 98 to 105 down in Southern Oregon and Medford. It's much cooler on the east side of the state. You can see John Day, you're seeing a temperature of 91 degrees at this hour. So the weather impact alert is because of the high heat risk. It's going to be in effect for, again, the rest of tonight and into Monday and Tuesday. Very hot days with warm nights. Overnight lows tonight will be in the mid 60s, probably be just as warm heading into tomorrow. So near record heat again for tomorrow. We stay very hot for Tuesday as well. Don't be surprised if we're looking at basically a 3-day stretch with temperatures right around 100 degrees. By the middle part of the week, John, much cooler, and later part of this week, I am tracking the chance for some showers, and some of those showers will be heavy. I'll let you know the exact time when we'll start to see those big changes moving in. That's coming up about 10 minutes from now. All
right, Joe, we'll see you later in the show. Well, some local governments are opening up cooling shelters to help people get out of the dangerous heat. Clackamas County says it has opened centers across the region, including in Happy Valley, Oregon City, West Linn, and Wilsonville. Now, depending on the conditions tomorrow, the Father's Heart in Oregon City may open an overnight cooling shelter. That'll be decided by 11 tomorrow morning. Here in Multnomah County, officials say conditions do not yet meet the threshold to open up cooling centers. However, the Midland, Albina, and Central Branch libraries are extending their hours until 8 tonight. All others are open until 6. Well, our weather impact alert is currently expected to run through Tuesday. To get the latest updates on conditions in your area, just download our free KGW News app. You can also watch us on your own time through the streaming app KGW+. Well, tonight, a touching tribute at the Thorns game. The family of Providence St. Vincent nurse practitioner Kenzie Michalski, who was killed last year in Europe, were welcomed to Providence Park to see Kenzie honored. The Portland native was a big soccer fan, and family and friends wanted to highlight her legacy the best way they could. Jay Coulter has that story.
Just before the game started, the Thorns brought Kenzie's family out onto the field and gave them a personalized jersey with her name on it.
She absolutely loved Portland, and more than anything, she loved Portland soccer.
Kenzie Michalski's parents, Bill and Jill, waving a Thorns jersey with their daughter's name on it to cheering fans as she is honored at Sunday's game.
We were just completely blown away. It took a little bit of time to process an honor so great.
Kenzie was killed while traveling abroad in Hungary last year. The man police say is responsible confessed and is awaiting trial. Kenzie was a neurosurgery nurse practitioner at Providence St. Vincent Medical Center, where her mom Jill says she touched many lives.
She really could connect with people on so many different levels and make them feel comfortable at a time when you're in the hospital and it's a very scary time. So that was a huge gift that she had.
Her dad Bill tells us that the idea to honor her at a Thorns game came about from friends and coworkers of hers who felt she needed to be properly honored. And what better way than at a Portland Thorns game?
She would snap snippets when they'd score the goals and the smoke would go off. And for a tiny little girl, you could really hear her cheering that team on.
They say it was such a wonderful tribute to their daughter's life.
Kenzie would be so honored to be remembered this way, and to have the Thorns do this for her. It's just very moving, and we're just so happy and thankful and grateful to the people of Portland for that. Portland was her happy place. So,
Jake Holter, KGW News.
Portland police say a bicyclist on their way to the bridge pedal was seriously injured in a hit-and-run crash this morning. Now police have released this image, which they say is the truck involved shortly after hitting that cyclist. It happened on the Morrison Bridge in the westbound lane around 8:30. Those lanes of the bridge were open to all traffic at that time. Eastbound lanes on the Morrison Bridge were closed for bridge pedal. Police say the driver left the scene and hasn't been found. As for the bicyclist, he's expected to survive. In Battleground, Washington, police want people to keep an eye out for a silver minivan. Earlier this morning, 2 males between the ages of 16 and 20 drove up to 2 juveniles and tried to lure them into the van. This was in a neighborhood off of Northeast 142nd Avenue in 10th Street. The victim said the 2 might have been armed. Police believe the vehicle is either a Toyota Sienna or a Honda Odyssey. If you have any information to share, call the number on your screen, 360-342-5200. And 2 separate crashes last night involving impaired drivers sends at least 2 people to the hospital. The first happened just after midnight at Northeast MLK and Prescott Street. In this case, officers found a 3-car wreck and learned one driver, a 17-year-old boy, left the scene. He was brought back by his father and booked into juvenile detention. One person was hospitalized with serious injuries. Then just before 2 last night, officers were called to Northeast Airport Way and Mason Street, where they found a truck wrapped around a tree. The driver was ejected and critically hurt, but he's now expected to survive. Both crashes are still under investigation. Well, tonight, a Washington State employee and her 6-year-old son are sitting in an ICE detention facility in Texas. The 2 were detained after trying to cross the Canadian border to go back home to Everett. Today, we heard from her close friend who says their detainment is inhumane. Christian Balderas has the latest.
ICE detained Sarah Shaw and her 6-year-old son in late July after she dropped off 2 of her kids at the Vancouver airport.
I thought we had crossed every T and dotted every I.
Her close family friend Victoria interviewed with us while out of state. She's been Sarah's main point of contact while detained.
Sarah was awaiting on some travel documents to get approved. However, when her visa and her children's visas got approved, she felt comfortable being the one to take them over to Canada.
Sarah was reauthorized to work in the U.S., but permission to travel was still pending. Her attorney calls it a simple administrative error.
Anyone could have made it. I told her that, yes, that's true. You don't have a travel document, but you've only been gone about a day. Explain what happened to the immigration officials.
Sarah's lawyer explained she's on a combo card. That's a temporary status that allows her to work while she applies for permanent residency. Sarah was originally sponsored by her husband, but she had to leave because of domestic violence. That allowed her to reapply for legal status on her own.
Even if she didn't have her travel document, he did. So the fact that ICE has insisted on detaining the 6-year-old when there was absolutely no reason for him to be detained is unconscionable.
Now Sarah and her son Isaac are being held at an ICE detention center in South Texas. It's one of 2 ICE facilities in the U.S. that can hold families. Her friend says Isaac, who has sensory issues, is struggling to adapt.
You never think it's going to happen to you. I think the main thing she has expressed this whole time is just absolute shock and just devastation, because she really did feel like she had done everything that was required of her.
Well, a welcome home this week to 2 search and rescue volunteers who spent more than 2 weeks in Texas. They're members of Columbia County's search and rescue program who helped in the search for victims following devastating flooding in the central part of the state alongside their K-9 partners. Today, we were able to ask them about their experience.
It was devastating to see all the devastation with not only the buildings and against the people, but also just the landscape that was destroyed.
Oregon is not as humid or hot as Texas, so it was a an acclimation period for them. That they had very little time to acclimate. We got boots on the ground running immediately when we got there.
Well, they added, while the program is under the sheriff's office, it's entirely volunteer driven and donor supported. In Hillsdale, the local farmers market is planning a thank you event. It's after the market's truck was stolen and damaged beyond repair back in March. Organizers say the community rallied to raise money to help the market bounce back. Equipped with a new truck, the market is set to host a community paint day as a thank you to those who helped make that possible. People of all ages are encouraged to participate in helping paint a mural of the new truck, or on the new truck, however. Staff says the design's inspiration is a reflection of the market and unity.
We just wanted to make it kind of give back in a little bit of way, and something that people can then say years from now, hey, I was a part of that, I helped create that. So that was really the thinking behind having a community paint day.
No art experience is needed to help out. Paint and brushes will also be provided. Hillsdale Farmers Market organizers say the new date for the community paint day will be posted to their social media pages soon.